ground into right center. Van Slyke on his horse. And he caught it. What a great play by Andy.
5 Gold Gloves. Mike Schmidt used to say playing defense for him was easy. It came naturally. It was instinctive. Offense was a different story. Did playing center field come easy for you?
Well, I had not played any outfield growing up, and I played left field my first year, right field my second. Third year in Little Rock, I played center field. So of all those three, center field seemed to be the natural fit for me. I don't know why, but the angle of the ball coming off the bat, the speed of the ball coming off the bat, and really, Frank, I got to the point in my career where if you drew a 10-foot circle, I knew where that ball was going to be before it got past the pitcher's mouth. So I had the ability to run to the spot without having to look at the ball, and that allows you to get to more balls that way.
There's a great story about you playing third base when the Cardinals wanted to move you to third base. You're in the minor leagues. Jim Fergosi's your manager.
Yeah.
Ricky Horton's on the mound.
Ricky Horton's on the mound. He was the starting pitcher back then, and I had only played maybe 25 games at third base at that point. And so in the 6th inning, Ricky Horton's pitching. Of course, Ricky throws slow, and so everybody's pulling the ball, the right-handers down to me. In the 6th inning, I had made my 4th error at that point, and Rick had given up 6 unearned runs. And so the last one, the ball got stuck in my glove. I threw my glove about halfway across the field. I went and grabbed it, walked back to third base, and as I was walking back, I didn't know Jim Fergosi was walking to the mound, and I hear this whistle. I ignored it. I know it was Fergosi, and I hear a whistle again. I ignored it, and he finally said, "Van Slyke, get over here." I get over there, and he puts his arm around Rick, and he says, "Now, Rick, I've got to take you out of the game because you can't keep the ball away from your third baseman." Now here's the ironic part about this story, Frank. That was the day after I got married.
Oh, boy.
And Fergosi had another great line. So I went out after the game to look for my new wife, and she didn't come to the game, and I didn't know that. And Fergosi said, "What's wrong with you?" He said, "My wife's not here." He said, "Well, she found out about how you played third base. She went back home."
The way Pittsburgh embraces you is something else, isn't it?
It really is. You don't really know that until you're done playing and go back, and then you get connected with people. I think I've only cried twice on a baseball field. Once was that Game 7 against the Atlanta Braves, a famous Sid Bream play at home plate. And the second time when they closed down Three River Stadium and they introduced me on the field. The reception I got was just was amazing.
Take me back to that Game 7, 1992. It was Cabrera at the plate, Bream on second. You're in center field. Barry Bonds is in left. What do you do right before that pitch is made?
Well, actually 2 pitches. The count got to 1-0, then the 2-0, and Cabrera had lined a fastball foul down the right field line. So I knew he was going to be on a fastball, and everybody knew in the ballpark that our closer at that time couldn't throw a good slider for a strike. So he's going to be basically a fastball hitter. Cabrera's a fastball. I just thought the ball was going to either be hit to me or be hit to Barry Bonds in left field if he was going to get a hit. I believe that if you're going to lose a ball game, you lose a ball game with the ball over your head instead of in front of you. So he hit the ball in front of Barry, but I pitched before I asked him to move up a little bit to give himself a better chance of throwing somebody at home plate. Because I signaled to him, I showed him how I was moving up. He chose not to ignore me.
You asked him or you yelled?
I didn't go over and ask him. I signaled to him, move up.
And did he motion to you? Or?
He motioned to me the international peace sign.
Huh. Speaking of Bonds.
And here's the thing, you know, Barry Bonds was a great left field. I think of all the attributes that Barry, or all the accolades, the one that he doesn't get enough credit for is how good a defensive he was. So I probably overstepped my bounds. But as a center fielder, it's my job to position guys.
How do you remember the Denkinger moment? Where were you at that time?
I was in right field.
And you thought while this was unfolding what?
I thought that we still were going to win the ball game even at that point. And then, you know, again, I was in right field when I threw the ball home when Sundberg crossed home plate. And unfortunately, Darryl Porter didn't block the plate. That was not blocking the plate at that point in his career. But, you know, that in so many ways, that series we should have won, probably didn't deserve to win also. We hit less than 200 the whole World Series.
Finally, as you go into the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, How would you sum up your career and your life in a few sentences?
I would say somewhat disappointing and better than I could ever dream.
What could possibly be disappointing about 5 Gold Gloves and 3 All-Star games? And
Just more in a World Series.
Okay.
I think that's the one thing that every player wishes he could accomplish in his career, that he's part of something bigger than himself. I mean, it's nice to win Gold Gloves and Silver Sluggers and All-Star games, but when you're part of a championship team, that's something that's very, very special.